I can't hear you. I can't hear you. God bless you. All right, Mr. Brian Trascher, come on up, sir. We're excited to hear from you.
About it for Colonel Manus. Noah's Ark was built by amateurs. The Titanic was built by professionals. When then candidate Trump came down that famous escalator ride in Trump Tower to announce that he'd be seeking the Republican nomination for President of the United States, a lot of folks laughed. The media laughed. The Democrats definitely laughed. Even some Republicans laughed. But you guys didn't laugh because you had faith. You know, there was a third grade teacher once who told her students, y'all get out a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to draw the first thing that comes to your mind. Just anything that pops in your head, draw it on your piece of paper. So the kids get out their materials, they start working, and the teacher starts walking around inspecting the work. She stops at little Sally's desk, and she leans over her shoulder and she says, Sally, what are you drawing? Little Sally says, well, I'm drawing a picture of God. And the teacher says, well, Sally, you can't draw a picture of God. Nobody knows what he looks like. Without even looking up, little Sally says, they will in a minute. When you know, you just know, ladies and gentlemen. When you know, you just know. That's why back in 2011, I joined Team Trump, even though there was no Team Trump. I knew what the pulse of this country was, I knew what the mood was, and I knew that he was the only man that could get it done and defeat the Clinton machine. The polls got it wrong. The polls got it wrong. Everybody got it wrong. But you guys didn't get it wrong, and the reason why was because the establishment, if you will, was not counting on the silent majority. I think the silent majority was sleeping for about 8 years, but on the 8th of November, the silent majority woke up. There was the ancient Greek philosopher Plato who said, the consequence of not participating in politics is that you end up becoming governed by your inferiors. Well, I think that we have been governed by our inferiors for the last 8 years. But ladies and gentlemen, the era of failing, the era of losing, and the era of making America last is over. I'm happy to report to you today that the adults are back in charge. Now, it seems like all our Democrat friends can talk about lately is Russia. They remind me of Jan Brady, Russia, Russia, Russia. Well, you know, back in 2008, Governor Sarah Palin, then candidate for Vice President of the United States, warned everybody that Russia was rebuilding their economy, their nuclear arsenal, and they're ramping up to be a superpower again. The media laughed at her and said, what does she know? Just because she can see Russia from her front porch, she thinks she knows her foreign policy? They laughed at her. Well, fast forward to 2012, Mitt Romney, candidate for president at a presidential debate, warned that Russia was oil rich, using that money to rebuild the military and their nuclear arsenal, and that if we were not careful with our foreign policy, they were going to be a problem again. President Obama laughed at him, said he was out of touch, said that he had a Cold War mentality. Fast forward to 2017, all of a sudden Democrats are worried about Russia. Russia regained its superpower status because they were able to manipulate the Obama administration for the last 8 years. Now, people say that President Trump is a master manipulator, but I'll tell you, he's good at manipulating the media. I mean, they take the bait every day. How good is he? Well, he's such a good manipulator that he's got Brian Williams and Dan Rather talking about fake news. He's got the liberals finally realizing that Russia's a problem. And he's got atheists walking around quoting the Pope. Now, I think the greatest revelation from 2016 was that the hypocrisy we always knew existed in the media and on the left is now on display every day, 24/7 for the world to see. They really are the gift that keeps on giving. But you know, it was the great communicator Ronald Reagan who said that the problem with our liberal friends are not that they're stupid, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. Now, the most dangerous kind of stupid person is the one that doesn't actually know they're stupid, right? That sounds like Hollywood, right? Now, only in Hollywood can an Iranian national be cheered on as he lectures the United States about the consequences of inhumane laws. Really? Really, Iran? Meanwhile, Iranian television is broadcasting the Oscars, and when the women walk up on stage, they're actually photoshopping more conservative dresses over what they were really wearing because apparently it was too sensitive for their culture. Now, these are the same women, mind you, who are out there marching to increase the rights of illegal immigrants from hostile Muslim countries. That's hypocrisy. That makes no sense. That's like the hens marching demanding more rights for the foxes to have free run of the farm. Ladies and gentlemen, Hollywood is the epicenter of the committee to re-elect Donald Trump, and they don't even know it. The more they keep talking, the more his numbers go up, the more that the rational people in this country unify together in support of President Trump. Now, speaking of television, anybody catch the president's speech to Congress Tuesday night? Was there something else going on Tuesday? Was it Mardi Gras or something? Or how do you guys think he did? When I sent word to the president that hundreds of his supporters would be gathering in Baton Rouge in support of him, the first thing he said was, "Oh yeah, Baton Rouge, that's where we broke Elton John's attendance record at the River Center." You guys remember that a year ago? His first Louisiana rally, and the fire marshal came up to him and said, "Mr. Trump, just want to let you know you had the largest attendance ever. I had to turn away approximately 3,000 people at the door." And Trump, being Trump's like, "Well, what was second place attendance?" And he said, "Elton John." And Trump said, "Oh, I'm going to text Elton right now, and I'm going to rub it in his face." So he loves Baton Rouge, and he is excited that everybody's here. Now, one more time, I want to give a shout out to Colonel Manus and Gator Pack for inviting me and for putting on these great rallies. To all of you for coming. By the way, if this were an anti-Trump rally, the Colonel is the guy you would have to see to pick up your checks for being here. But this is grassroots. This isn't AstroTurf. We're all here for free. Everybody except me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We also want to make sure we keep supporting our congressional delegation who are getting harassed by paid protesters at their town hall meetings. They're doing things like booing the invocation, booing the national anthem. Come on, folks, let's have rational discourse in this country. It's fine to protest. It's fine to be against things. It's fine to be for things. But let's get out there and support our delegation. Even Congressman Richmond, even though he doesn't vote with us, but he deserves our support and our prayers as well. Least popular line of the speech. I love it. Well, look, so the president said that what he wanted to do is he wanted everybody here to cheer so loud that he could hear you all the way in Washington, D.C. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get this crowd fired up. So do we have any LSU fans here today? All right. So LSU is my alma mater. We're so close. The Tigers have a baseball game against Baylor today at 3:30. So I figured that what we could do is channel some of that Tiger spirit and give a big go Tigers. So this side I want to say go, this side Tigers. You ready? Go! Tigers! Go! Tigers! Go! Tigers! All right, good job. Good job. We're going to mix it up, though. We're going to mix it up just a bit. We want to make sure the president hears us all the way in Washington, D.C. It's about 1,200 miles away, okay? So this time we're going to say go Trump. Are you ready? Go! Trump! Go! Trump! Go! Trump! Go! Trump! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a great crowd. Thank you for your support. God bless the great state of Louisiana. God bless the United States, and God save President Donald Trump. Make America great again. Thank you.